So today we're here with Stephanie from King's College London. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a bit more about what makes King's College unique?
Okay. King's College is one of the oldest and most traditional universities. We're fourth oldest in the UK, but quite modern in thinking in terms of our research and teaching. So we're ranked number 19 in the world this year, primarily because of our research. We, for example, discovered the structure of the DNA, the radiography. We've had some expertise in needle-free vaccinations, for example, just to name a few of our fantastic research.
Right.
So I think that makes us unique in terms of what we bring in the classroom based on research. In that sense, we are also unique because we're quite large. We have about 25,000 students with over 300 courses to choose from. So it makes the learning experience quite diverse, being multidisciplinary with 9 different schools to choose from.
And what are the major programs that you offer at King's, the most popular programs?
Sure. King's is known for our medicine and dentistry and law. In dentistry, for example, we're probably the best in Europe. We're the biggest producers of healthcare professionals in Europe. And medicine is among the most popular choices, having 3 teaching hospitals in central London. A lot of our research funding also goes into biomedical sciences, engineering, a lot of physics and maths, for example. But we're also being a popular choice for management. So we have a lot of management and finance that are more social science oriented and a lot to do with emerging economies. So a lot of our focus is in Southeast Asia, for example, East Asia and emerging markets here, as well as Latin America and Eastern Europe. So it makes it quite unique in the sense that it's not very traditional and bookish and very close to just simple business models, but very analytical and theoretical in that nature, which is quite important in analytical thinking as a manager.
Definitely. And what would be your minimum entry requirements for IB students? What would you be looking at?
King's has actually recently updated our IB requirements. I'm happy to say that our IB minimum requirement is a 35, but depending on the course of your choice, we would look for a 667 or a 666 in terms of higher level grades. Particularly for subject-specific requirements. Let's say if you were applying for medicine, we would look for biology and chemistry higher levels, and preferably, at the highest possible grade you can get, because it's very competitive to apply to that. But some other courses are more general and do not require any specific subject matter, but at least a 35 is a requirement.
Okay. And regarding English, do you require IELTS, TOEFL, or do you accept IB English?
At King's, we require an IELTS or TOEFL or any relevant English exam, mainly because of the UK Border Agency requirement, and also because everybody has to have a certain level of academic English to be ready for the rigor of university studies.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't give credit for high-level IB students?
No.
And you don't require ACTs or SATs either?
We don't, that's a good thing, yeah.
And what is the average classroom size usually? Teacher-to-student ratio?
Average classroom size varies depending on the program. I would say maybe 20 is an average depending on the class size, but some lectures are plenary and quite big. But in terms of the student-teacher ratio, I'd say maybe an average of maybe 1 to 12, depending on what program you're studying. But I think a lot of the benefit of it is that there's a lot of out-of-classroom contact with your professors, with your supervisors, and even in the student societies, a lot of it is student-student contact. They mentor and coach each other. There's 400 clubs and societies to choose from, and a lot of the learning happens outside the classroom. That's more interaction with faculty and staff as well.
That's excellent. And lastly, do you offer scholarships, and what's the average tuition fee costs and living expenses?
Sure. We have some scholarships, mainly at graduate level, but it might be interesting to note at this point that King's College London has a lot of partnerships in Hong Kong that might actually offer, if not the whole whole fees, at least a percentage of the fees. Hong Kong University is one of our strongest partners in Hong Kong. In fact, Dickson Poon School of Law, Dickson Poon is a Hong Kong national and has contributed a lot in development of our law program. So there might be some opportunities there as well.
Okay. Excellent. And generally tuition fees would be about between?
Tuitions change year by year, but I would say it's between 12,000 and there's no limit, maybe up to 25 if you're doing medicine that's laboratory and clinic based.
Exactly. And living expenses in London are estimated about £1,000 a month.
That's right, that's what the UK Border Agency recommends, but as a student having lived in London, I would survive with much less if you know how to cook and budget yourself. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, that's very interesting.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah.
If you have any other questions, you need to go onto the website or you can contact us directly as well.
Thank you.